Is designer clothing really worth the expensive price tag? All my life the answer has been no, it's just a big waste of money. But recently I actually changed my mind after I bought my first ever designer jacket. Later in this video I'm gonna show you that jacket and tell you 7 reasons why I am now saving up for more luxury garments. But first up, what actually is designer clothing? Designer clothing is clothing designed by a particular fashion designer or licensed by a person or brand. It is often luxury clothing proven to be high quality and high price for the general public, made by or carrying the name of a well-known designer. So what makes it actually stand out from normal clothing? Well, here are 7 reasons as to why people choose to buy expensive designer clothing over cheaper normal clothing. Reason number 1. Quality. Quality of the design, construction, fabrics, the hardware such as zippers and buttons, stitching, the stitching thread, inner linings, advanced sewing techniques, the hang tags, etc, etc. Reason number 2. Where it's made. A lot of luxury brands are made in Europe or America, where the cost of labor is much higher than, for example, China, where a lot of lower-end brands choose to manufacture their clothing. Reason number 3. Uniqueness. Uniqueness of the design, color choices, fabric choices, custom prints specifically for the line, unique and customized trims and labels, difficult sewing techniques. All of this takes more time to design and requires talented designers and product development staff, which reflects on the price tag. Reason number 4. Exclusivity. Often very few products are being produced per clothing drop. This makes the cost per unit a lot higher than if you were to buy in large bulks. It also makes it a limited commodity, which automatically as humans we then value it higher. This is the same in every industry. For instance, let's look at art. There are less than 20 survived paintings attributed to Leonardo da Vinci. And the most expensive painting ever sold was his Salvator Mundi, which sold for a whopping $450 million. And we can't forget Mona Lisa, which is deemed priceless. Okay, reason 5 as to why luxury clothing is so expensive: the business model. Luxury clothing is often sold through established retailers who are trusted fashion sources with a loyal fan base. Because of this, there are 2 markups in price: cost to wholesale and wholesale to retail. Why don't they just start their own store or just sell online? Well, it's much easier for a new up-and-coming luxury brand to get exposure through established retailers than to just start all on their own. Reason number 6. Overheads. As with any industry, hiring someone extremely accomplished in the field means that the salary must be high. Decades of being a successful designer should be compensated accordingly. Another big part of the overhead is that if a luxury brand is going to have a physical store, it kind of needs to be in those luxury areas where the rent is higher, which then again reflects on the price tag. Reason number 7. Branding and advertisement. Generally, luxury brands tend to spend a lot on hyping up their clothing. For campaigns, they buy big billboards and host expensive fashion shows where they get models to show off the clothing collection. At these events, the models, the venue, the photographers, food, drink, all of this adds up. Okay, those were 7 reasons as to why I think designer clothing is so expensive. Now let's move on to my first ever designer purchase. For this spring I decided that I wanted a beige Harrington jacket, and I had already narrowed it down to 2 jackets. It was either gonna be this from Polo Ralph Lauren, or this one from Dickies. Before buying one of them completely new, my broke ass checked the Norwegian online marketplace to see if I could find an used one for a little bit cheaper. And there it was, on the similar tab under a Dickies jacket post. A Maison Margiela beige Harrington jacket, just like something I had imagined in my head. Now at the time, I basically knew nothing about the brand other than that TikTok fashion MFs glorifies it. But I guess the TikTok brain rot has gotten to me, because I bought it right there and then without even trying to lowball him, which is what I usually do. And a couple days later, I got the package. How cool is this? I'm in love with the weird squared off collar and the silver adjustments on the side. This flap on the cuff that makes it seem like it's adjustable, but it's really just there for aesthetic purposes. And the fact that if you unfold this, it's the same color as the lining. Like, what? This is so cool. Not a single non-designer brand would ever think about doing something like this. I also love that it's a very unique fit. I feel like the jacket is sewn in a way that makes it very square and boxy. And it's of course a little bit cropped with elongated sleeves, which just fits my body proportions extremely well, as you can see. This fabric and the lining as well is something I feel like I've never felt before. It's such a good quality jacket. And because of this, it's very comfortable, and I feel like it would last forever even if I were to wear it every day. Since I was curious, I wanted to find out when this jacket was from. It took me some serious Googling, but eventually I found out that it was from AW15, aka the autumn winter collection from 2015. It was actually after I found this out that I realized why so many people are into archive fashion. Just by me knowing that I'm wearing a Maison Margiela piece from 2015, it feels like I'm part of something, part of the history of the brand. It feels so much more special than just wearing a random Zara jacket that nobody cares about. And I know that this will hold its value forever, while the Zara jacket just won't.